Hello and welcome to another episode of The Zoo. Today we're going to talk about cyber resilience. But we're going to look at it from an ITIL perspective. And who better to help us do that than Anthony Orr. Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks, Alf. Glad to be here, as usual.
Where are you right now?
I'm in a conference room in Houston. Yep, I know most people usually think I'm traveling somewhere or in some other parts of the world, but I'm at home this week. Last week I was in Mexico City, and I got some other travels coming up. So lots of exciting things to talk about related to service management. Last week, matter of fact, I wasn't talking about cyber resilience. I was talking about IT transformation and digital services, which is another good topic for you to have. So.
And the guy who knows more about digital transformation and digital service management in the world is Rickson from Wales. Welcome, Chris.
Who is this man? He sounds great.
You should meet him.
It's not me. Hey.
As we becoming less analog, and I had a discussion with a friend the other day, we don't think there are any analog businesses left. Even postal office guys use digital equipment now. So when we take on this digital persona as an entire enterprise, we are very easily attacked from various sources, whether they are government or private. We are compromised, data is leaked, data is stolen, people go in and look, and we don't even know that they're looking at what we're doing. How does one prepare oneself from an IT service management, from an IT perspective? How does one become more cyber resilient in this digital world, Anthony?
Well, by applying technology appropriately. That's really the fast, easy answer. But as they do that, they should take into account the practices they already have within their environment. So when you think about organizations that have started to adopt the ITIL, the service management practices matter, especially in, for example, service design. When you think about elements of service warranty, which are availability, continuity, security, and capacity, there's three that sort of probably jump out at people right away that are listening to this, which is, if a service is not available, availability man, what should I do? Well, I'm going to put in a continuity plan. If I'm going to put in a continuity plan, and I've just had a cyber attack, I want to follow the best practices related to IT service continuity, but I also want to look at what ITIL says about security management as it relates to how to address threats and things like that in the organization. And then continuity, talking about business impact analysis and risk assessments and so forth, so I can design a solution that's ready for attack. But because in the industry, one of the things that you may hear from a lot of cybersecurity experts, they say it's just a matter of time before you will be attacked. So why not be better prepared when you start thinking about your critical business services versus the non-critical ones, and keeping your systems up and running and responding as fast as you can using a good technology solution to help you at the end of the day. For example, one of the solutions I talk about within BMC related to this is Control-M and cyber resilience. What better solution for that does workload automation says if something happens, if I detect there's a cyber threat, how quickly can I respond? Well, Control-M can do all type of things across the enterprise to make sure that that organization continues business, the threat is minimized, and they continue to deliver what's the key part that we sort of learned from ITIL. It's ITIL is the best practice for IT service management, so that services continue to be applicable for their customers, and then they don't lose reputation, and then the costs associated with the attack may be a little bit more minimized. But if the attack happens, let's make sure we respond, and that's what cyber resilience really, at the end of the day, is all about. To say a lot of things in a few words.
No, I thought it was great. Chris, do you think enough companies out there are preparing themselves using proper processes like ITIL to deal with this new cyber threat?
I think the short answer is no. And there's a really interesting emerging school of thought that says, all security is an illusion anyway. Mm. So better to be prepared for the inevitable. And I think ITIL is getting an unfair unfair rap at the moment. There's a lot of people are down on it in terms of saying, it's not necessarily keeping pace with the digital transformation, it's less relevant than it was. And I don't think that is true whatsoever. I think if you listen to Anthony speak there is good, plain old common sense in terms of how to respond to these situations and do so with a view on providing continuity of service to the business and lots of best practices to help you do that. So I think it's relevant, and I wish more people would pay attention to some of the core ideas here. Doesn't mean you have to go out and do all of it, and I think ITIL experts like Anthony would be the first to say you really shouldn't do that. But that's huge value in today's world, and will continue to do so, I think.
Yeah, Chris, I agree with everything you said. Matter of fact, if you even look at some of the things that Axelos, the owners of ITIL, are focusing on, are things around the ITIL core. They're starting to look at cyber resilience in ITIL, DevOps in ITIL, and other things like even project management, understanding the relationships between these synergies and using ITIL sort of as the foundation, because that's what it can be, the foundation of how you practice service management in your organization. And as you start having other business opportunities or business needs and so forth, you can say, oh, well, I need to understand cyber resilience better. I need to understand DevOps better. Or there's emerging trends like the Internet of Things and social and mobile and analytics and stuff. How do I, sort of bring those into overall practice of service management so I can even do more of what the ITIL best practices promise within an organization? But at the end of the day, the ITIL is the foundation for delivering that. So keep the foundation there, then leverage the other trends and the other things that's going on that are starting to disrupt the way that we do business, as we go back and talk about digital services and so forth. Still, ITIL matters at the end of the day, because every organization, no matter what disruptors are there, there's still a practice of service management that they have to adhere to as it relates to those things.
What does one do if you want to learn more about this? If this piqued my interest and say, okay, maybe I should have different processes around my cybersecurity, where does one go?
First, you can go to our website, BMC. You can go look at the NIST standards. You can go look at Axelos, and there's lots of other places out there that are going. First of all, warn people, give them insight and education about what the difference is between cybersecurity and cyber resilience. That's important to understand. And then how should you respond? What should you be thinking about so you can make better decisions within your organization so that you are, you can lessen the effect and help with business continuity overall and your business reputation. And at the end of the day, improve that service that you're delivering to your customers. Because who does it affect more, the business or the customers? You think about some of the attacks that happened recently with identities being stolen and everything else. It's something that organizations have to be more proactive and take care of initiatives around this. A lot of times, that we know of, that a lot of organizations sometimes are risks. They have different risk strategies, and sometimes they say, well, I really don't want to spend money on something that hasn't happened yet because I'm very reactive or chaotic right now, and I'm just trying to keep my business up and running. But in this area, this is something that they really should invest in quickly and start taking advantage of, because the stories are all over the news every day, and they're going to continue to be this way. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can say a lot more about this, but I know, Alf, your sessions are only supposed to be, 2 minutes long?
Exactly. For short so. Thank you so much, Anthony, for coming. I really appreciate you taking the time and stop by the zoo. For all of you out there, take care and stay safe.